Hi there, this video will show you how to use Kalix's Google Calendar integration. Sync your Kalix calendar with Google Calendar to view all your appointments and personal events in one place. If you have a group practice in Kalix, each provider can set up their own Google Calendar sync. Please note the Google Calendar integration will only sync your own appointments from Kalix. If you need to sync other providers' appointments, please use the iCalendar sync instead. The Google Calendar sync has two different options. First, a one-way sync, which will sync your appointments from Kalix to Google Calendar only. Second, a two-way sync, when your appointments from Kalix will sync to Google Calendar and your events from Google Calendar will sync back to Kalix. To set up, navigate to the Calendar Sync page, choose Appointments on the top header, then Calendar, and then choose the Calendar Sync page. In the section Google Calendar Sync, click on the switch to enable. In the pop-up window, choose whether you would like to set up a one-way or two-way sync. We will look at both options individually, but let's first look at the two-way sync. As mentioned, the two-way sync allows your appointments from Kalix to be pushed to Google Calendar and your events from Google Calendar to be pushed back to Kalix. Check this option and then choose Sign In with Google Calendar. Next step is to sign into your Google account. On the Permissions page, select Allow. You will be returned back to the Calendar Sync page. The calendar options or settings for Google Calendar Sync are now available. Let's look at them quickly. The calendar options are broken down into two groups: settings for the sync of Kalix to Google Calendar and those for the sync of Google Calendar events back to Kalix. Show clients' names gives you the ability to turn off sharing clients' names to Google Calendar. This means the calendar entry sent to Google will have the appointment type and location, but not the client's names. For HIPAA compliance, you must have a Business Associate Agreement or BAA with Google before enabling the sync of clients' names to Google Calendar. For more information about this, please see the following link. The options under Sync Google Calendar Events to Kalix include the choice of which Google Calendars to sync and the option to select the appointment type Kalix saves the sync Google events as. You can select any non-client related appointment type that is already set up in your Kalix account, such as events or unavailable. Alternatively, you can create a new appointment type. For more information about this, please see the following link. Once you have set up all of the calendar options, click Save. Now the two-way sync is complete. Now let's quickly look at the one-way sync. Select one-way sync if you want only your appointments from Kalix to sync with Google Calendar. This option does not sync Google Calendar events back to Kalix. The workflow for setting this up is very much the same. First, check you want to use a one-way sync. The next step is to sign into your Google account. On the Permissions page, select Continue. You will be returned back to the Calendar Sync page. The calendar options will become available again. Because this is a one-way sync only, there are less options, those related to the sync of Kalix appointments to Google. When you are done, click Save. Lastly, we will look how to disable the Google Calendar sync. If you no longer want to use the Google Calendar sync, you can turn off the switch. Once disabled, if you're using the two-way sync, all previously synced Google Calendar events will be deleted from your Kalix calendar. And for one-way and two-way sync, Kalix will stop sending your appointments to Google. However, to remove existing Kalix appointments that have already synced to Google Calendar, please delete the calendar labeled Kalix within Google Calendar itself.